You know that feeling when you think you're doing everything right, but that stubborn belly fat just refuses to leave.
Right. It's so common.
Yeah, and if you feel like you've tried, well, basically every diet out there, and you're just convinced nothing works, then you've definitely come to the right place for this deep dive.
We're looking at something called an extreme fat melting diet plan today. It's designed apparently to really target that excess fat, aiming for results within about a month.
Okay, extreme always makes me pause a bit. Is this just another fad?
Well, that's the thing. The sources we looked at present it differently.
Yeah.
Not as some, quick fix trend, but as a practical and healthy approach, something genuinely effective for weight loss.
All right, let's get into the mechanics then. What actually makes it work, according to these sources?
It seems to boil down to two main things. First, it's a low-calorie approach.
Okay, but not starvation mode, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. It's not about feeling miserable and hungry all the time. The idea is more strategic, reducing calories enough so your body finally has to, tap into its stored fat for energy.
Like unlocking your own fat reserves.
Pretty much. And the second key part is what you eat. It's very deliberate. It's not just cutting calories, it's choosing specific foods known to help with fat loss.
So it matters what those calories are.
Absolutely. And the sources get really detailed: what to eat, how to make it, and crucially, when to eat it. Like a plan for the whole day, morning till night, all designed to melt belly fat and maybe even help with other health stuff too.
Okay, so our mission is clear. We're going to break down this plan piece by piece, looking at the recommendations for the entire day to maximize fat burning. Where do we start?
The morning. Yep, starts right when you wake up.
Huh.
The first step is hydration. Big emphasis on drinking 2, maybe 3 glasses of water. And this is before you even brush your teeth.
Interesting. Just plain water.
Plain water, yeah. Helps kind of wake up your metabolism, rehydrate after sleeping. Simple stuff.
Then what?
After the water and, freshening up, there's this breathing exercise called Kapalbhati.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Right. It's like rapid exhales. About 60 strokes a minute, aiming for maybe 300 total. The sources claim has a direct effect on belly fat.
How long does that take?
Just 5 or 10 minutes, like a little morning workout specifically for your midsection.
Okay. Water, breathing, then breakfast.
Almost. There's a step before breakfast. They call it a pre-breakfast master meal, taken about 30 minutes before you actually eat.
A master meal? What is it?
The top recommendation is ash gourd juice.
Ash gourd, like the vegetable.
Exactly. The thinking behind it is kind of interesting. They suggest belly bulge isn't always just fat. It can be like accumulated waste in your gut.
Ah, okay. Digestive backup.
Sort of. And ash gourd is supposed to be really cleansing for the stomach. You just blend about 200 grams with water. Straining is optional. Apparently, it tastes pretty neutral.
And they mentioned summer is the best time for it.
Yeah, seems like it.
What if you don't have ash gourd? Or a blender ready first thing?
Good question. There are alternatives. One is ashwagandha leaf juice note, the leaf, about 30 milliliters with 30 milliliters of water. It's highlighted as a natural fat cutter.
Available online, maybe?
Yeah, the source mentions it's easy to find online. And the simplest option, just lemon juice and water with a pinch of rock salt and black pepper.
So something acidic and cleansing?
Seems to be the theme. And they really stress this master meal idea. Because you're in a fasted state, your body supposedly absorbs it really well. It's like setting the stage, drawing on Ayurvedic ideas.
Okay, so after that, about 30 minutes later, it's finally breakfast time. What's the go-to?
The number one suggestion is sprout chat.
Not just plain sprouts, I assume?
Definitely not. It's moon dal sprouts mixed with chopped onion, tomato, rock salt, black pepper, ginger, lemon juice, fresh coriander,
Oh, okay.
roasted cumin powder, and even a little sesame oil. They call it the live food.
Yeah.
Packed with protein, fiber, complex carbs, B12, micronutrients.
So designed to keep you full.
Exactly. Keeps you satisfied longer, helps avoid that mid-morning munchies urge, which, helps with fat loss.
Right.
It's like a nutrient powerhouse to start the day.
Sounds good, but maybe not every single day. Are there other options?
Oh, yeah. Plenty of variety. Vegetable masala oats is one, but, and this is important, they mean steel-cut oats.
Right. Not the instant sugary stuff.
Definitely not. You soak them overnight, cook them with veggies. Another one is barley porridge. Same deal, steel-cut barley soaked overnight. Barley gets a specific shout-out for being good for fat loss.
Probably the fiber content.
Most likely, yeah. Soluble fiber, good for fullness and blood sugar.
What about something more like Indian breakfast staples?
Yep. Bisan chip pea flour pancakes. You'd have 2, maybe with some tomato or coriander mint chutney or lemon pickle.
Okay.
Or moong dal chilla, made from soaked mung dal, blended with green chili, ginger, salt, turmeric. You can add veggies too. Cooked with a bit of mustard oil. They're pretty light. You could have 3, often eaten with coconut chutney down south, apparently.
What if you're really, really rushed in the morning?
There's an oat smoothie option. Soaked rolled oats, soaked cashews, 2 bananas, cinnamon cocoa powder, no milk.
Bananas. I thought they were often cut from fat loss diets.
Yeah, they address that. The idea is, in limited amounts at the right time, they can actually help fat loss. And the cashews add healthy fats, maybe stop blood sugar spikes.
Interesting take. Any super simple options?
Fruits, just plain fruit. Specifically watermelon or muskmelon, like half a kilo.
Half a kilo. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, but they're mostly water and fiber, so very filling, good for fat loss, and give quick energy. Said some fitness folks, only eat fruit for breakfast.
So lots to choose from. The main advice is maybe sprouts a few times a week, then mix it up.
Exactly. Variety is key.
Okay, moving on. What happens between breakfast and lunch?
About an hour, hour and a half after breakfast, more water, 1 or 2 glasses.
Combating dehydration disguised as hunger.
Precisely. Often those pangs aren't real hunger, just thirst. So hydrate first, and then they recommend about a 4-hour gap between breakfast and lunch.
Got it. And lunch itself, how does that start?
It starts before the main meal, actually, with a plate of raw salad.
Salad first.
Yeah. Cucumber, carrot, whatever raw veggies you like. They cite studies showing that starting with raw veg helps with fat loss. Fills you up a bit.
Makes sense. Then the main course.
Okay, here's where it gets maybe challenging for some. The plan says no wheat and no rice for lunch.
Whoa. Seriously, no roti, no rice? That's huge.
It is. The reasoning given is that modern wheat, the hybrid kind, and polished white rice are seen as major obstacles for fat loss. They spike blood sugar too quickly.
Okay. So if not wheat and rice, then what do you eat?
Millets. They strongly push millets, described as these small, ancient Indian grains.
Light.
Barnyard, little kodo, foxtail, brown top millet. Those are listed as the best 5.
Why millets?
Low glycemic index, which means slower energy release, fewer crashes, less craving, and high fiber. Really high fiber. The source basically says they guarantee fat loss, plus they mention they're getting popular good reviews online.
How do you cook them? Like rice?
It's a bit different. They need soaking overnight first. Then you cook them in an open pot, not usually a pressure cooker. It takes about 15-20 minutes.
So instead of rajma chawal, you'd have rajma millets.
Exactly. Or kohl millets. You can pair them with any dal or sabzi. And apparently you need less, like half the amount of millets fills you up more than rice would.
So potentially cost effective too. What's a serving size?
About a 1/4 cup of the cooked millet.
What if someone really misses having a roti? Is there any alternative?
Yes, there is. Instead of wheat roti, they suggest rotis made from ragi, that's finger millet, jawar, sorghum, or barley flour.
Ah, so still using millet-type grains.
Right. And they share a tip for soft rotis. Mix the flour into boiling water first, then knead it.
Good hack.
And they point out these are also good for things like diabetes, blood pressure, fatty liver, not just fat loss.
Okay, so millets are these alternative rotis. What about the sabzi, the vegetables?
Focus on seasonal veggies. For summer, things like lauki, bottle gourd,
Yeah.
tori, ridge gourd, tinda, apple gourd, pervel, pointed gourd, petha, ash gourd again, are ideal for fat loss. Go easy on potatoes and jackfruit, though.
Got it. So lunch is salad first, then boiled millets or a ragi jawar barley roti with lots of seasonal vegetables. Change the veg with the seasons.
That's the plan.
Okay, then the afternoon slump. What happens after lunch?
You guessed it, about an hour or hour and a half later, drink water again, 1 or 2 glasses, keep that hydration going, fight off cravings.
And then the classic 5 p.m. snack attack time.
Exactly. The plan acknowledges this is a tricky time and strongly warns against the usual suspects: chips, biscuits, samosas, bread pakora. You know the drill.
Yeah, easy to derail progress there. So what are the healthy options?
Top of the list is roasted macana, fox nuts, or lotus seeds.
Oh, those are tasty. How do they suggest preparing them?
Super simple. Roast about a cup of macana in a tiny bit of ghee. Add a pinch of salt, turmeric, black pepper. Roast for maybe 7-8 minutes till they're really crispy.
And you know when they're done.
They should snap easily when you break one. You can store them in an airtight jar for a week or so.
Why macana?
They taste great, give that crunch people crave, but they're low-calorie, high in protein and fiber, antioxidants. Basically called a superfood snack that beats the processed stuff for fat loss.
Good alternative. What else?
Fruits and nuts together, like an apple with some peanuts, or muskmelon slices with soaked almonds. The nuts balance it out, add satiety.
Smart combo.
Also soaked dry fruits. They have a specific method. Soak figs and raisins together overnight in one bowl, almonds and walnuts in another.
Okay.
Then toss the water the nuts soaked in, but drink the water the raisins soaked in. It's presented as a really nutritious snack.
Interesting detail about the raisin water.
Yeah. Or just simple seasonal fruit. Again, maybe a mango or a few slices of muskmelon if that's easier.
What about a drink?
Sattu Sharbat, made from roasted chana powder, mixed with salt, cumin powder, lemon, and water. It's high protein, very filling, and great for cooling down, preventing heat stroke.
That sounds refreshing.
And they also mentioned a fruit, nut, and seed smoothie is an option too, like recipes maybe shared before.
Okay, lots of good snack ideas there. Now, dinner. This often feels like the make or break meal for weight loss.
The plan totally agrees. It calls dinner the most crucial meal for determining how fast you lose fat.
So what's the key? Timing, content.
Both. Aim for dinner by 7:00 p.m. and keep it filling but light. The reasoning is that digestion slows down after sunset. Heavy food eaten late is more likely to just get stored as fat.
Makes sense. So what constitutes a light but filling dinner?
Soups. Especially in summer, soups are the #1 recommendation.
Any specific recipes?
Yeah, they give one for lauki and tomato soup. Just chop lauki and tomato, boil them with rock salt, turmeric, black pepper, maybe some ginger and green chili.
Simple enough.
Then blend it once it's cooked. You can add a teaspoon of desi ghee on top if you like. Apparently it tastes really good.
Nice. Other soup ideas?
Mixed vegetable soup, mushroom soup, tomato soup. You could even add some roasted macana to a tomato soup. The basic method is the same. Boil veggies with spices, blend, filling, easy to digest, ideal for the evening.
What if soup just doesn't feel like enough? Still hungry?
There are alternatives. A small bowl of dal or a small bowl of sabzi, or even one raji, jawar, or barley roti with dal or sabzi.
Okay, so fallback options exist.
Yeah, even a small bowl of millet vegetable pulao or millet dal khichdi, but they really emphasize soup is the best choice.
What about people who work late? Getting home at 9 p.m., for example, 7 p.m. dinner isn't feasible.
They address that. The suggestion is have a more substantial meal around 5 p.m., maybe one of the snack options made bigger, or even the lunch components. Then, when you get home at 9 p.m., just have a light soup. It's a practical workaround.
That's helpful. What if someone is just genuinely very hungry at dinner time, even with the 7 p.m. timing?
Okay, interesting scenario. The advice is eat your proper suggested dinner, soup, or the light alternatives, but then the next morning, skip breakfast.
Skip breakfast entirely.
Yeah, or just have the ash gourd juice or maybe some fruit. Basically, create a longer fasting window, like 14, 15 hours, overnight into the next day.
Ah, so linking the early dinner to intermittent fasting.
Exactly. That 7 p.m. recommendation is tied to working with your body's natural rhythms, the circadian rhythm, to speed up fat loss.
And after dinner, just sit around.
No, they suggest a short, gentle walk, preferably outside, maybe in the moonlight, helps digestion, lifts the mood, signals the body it's time to wind down.
And sleep.
Crucial. They highlight that the body actually repairs and burns fat during proper sleep. Cites modern studies on this. So getting to bed on time is part of the plan.
Okay, that covers the whole day. Can we do a quick recap of the ideal flow?
Sure. Wake up, water, kapalbhati, then the ash gourd juice or alternative, breakfast with sprouts being a top pick, mid-morning water, lunch starts with salad, then millets or ready-to or barley roti with seasonal veg, afternoon water, evening snack roasted macana is recommended, and dinner, ideally soup, by 7 p.m. Then a short walk and good sleep.
Got it. Now, for people wanting the fastest results in that first month, are there specific things to completely cut out?
Yes, 3 main categories. First, wheat and rice, completely replaced by millets, besan, and oats.
We covered that. What else?
Added sugar, totally gone for the first month. Rely only on natural sugars from fruit. After the month, maybe introduce natural sweeteners like mishri or jaggery, but sparingly.
Okay, no sugar. Third thing.
Milk and most milk products.
Really? Why?
The source points to concerns about the quality of modern milk and suggests it can cause inflammation, hindering fat loss. The recommendation is to cut it for a month. Then maybe consider A2 Desi cow milk if you can source it reliably.
Interesting point about inflammation. But what about ghee? Isn't that a milk product?
Good point. Desi ghee, specifically A2 Desi cow ghee, gets a thumbs up. It's highlighted as being easily available online and rich in something called CLA conjugated linoleic acid.
And CLA is good.
Described as a natural fat cutter. The recommendation is about 2 teaspoons a day, maybe on your veggies, dal or khichdi.
So use ghee, but avoid milk.
That seems to be the recommendation for the initial month. And while you can cook with ghee, they suggest cold-pressed oils like mustard oil are more economical for general cooking. Definitely avoid refined oils, though, strictly.
Okay, eliminate wheat, rice, added sugar, most milk. Add millets, specific routines, and A2 ghee. It sounds comprehensive.
It really is. And the sources end with a motivational push, saying, if you're determined, this can really work. Stick with it for at least a week to see results, and then keep going for the full month.
And what kind of results might someone expect?
It varies, of course, depending on your starting point. But they suggest someone significantly overweight could potentially lose up to 10 kilograms, or around 22 pounds in that month.
That's substantial.
It is. The final instruction is basically measure your weight and waist now, follow this strictly for 1 month, and then share your results to inspire others.
Right. So that's the deep dive into this extreme fat loss diet. From that first glass of water in the morning right through to the light evening soup and walk, it really is a whole day strategy.
Yeah, it's incredibly detailed, isn't it? It goes way beyond just eat less, move more. It specifies what, when, and even how with things like the breathing and the pre-breakfast drink.
The focus on millets instead of wheat and rice is a big one, and the timing of meals, trying to align with natural rhythms.
Exactly. It feels less like just deprivation and more like a strategic reset, using specific foods and timings to encourage your body's own fat-burning processes. It seems quite rooted in, well, both traditional knowledge and some modern ideas about digestion and metabolism.
It's definitely presented as more than just a temporary fix. It looks like a structured plan requiring commitment, focusing on whole foods and mindful eating patterns.
Which brings us to the final thought for you, listening. We've laid out this quite intensive plan. Thinking about it realistically, what's maybe one small part of this, just one thing that feels like you could actually try incorporating into your day starting maybe tomorrow?
Yeah, and beyond just the number on the scale, how might even adopting one or two of these strategies like the morning water or the salad before lunch or an earlier dinner start to change how you feel, your energy levels, your digestion, maybe even just your sense of control over your eating habits? It's interesting to consider the ripple effects.
Absolutely. Sometimes those small shifts can build momentum.
Well, that's certainly a lot to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today into this very specific approach to fat loss.